Yeah, kid. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer Podcast. My name is Charles, AKA the Handsome Homebuyer, AKA Captain Permit, AKA Emily. Say it. That wasn't it, but that'll work too. The only man in the real estate world with his fucking own action figure. You know who else needs an action figure, doesn't have one, but should because he himself is a superhero? That's right, people. The one, the only Captain Permit. 516-513-8838. If you need plans, you need permits, you need anything permit related, we are here. We do it all. We've gotten more trouble than anybody else in the permit business, which is a good thing because we know the highs, the lows, the pitfalls to keep you out of trouble. But I have to tell everybody, super, super, super important, the way to stay out of trouble is to be proactive. The moment you get a house under contract, agents, the moment you take a listing, go to Lotus Quotes, LOTUS Quotes, QUOTES.com. Get your free CEO search, get your free insurance quote, get your free tax grievance analysis. I can't tell you how many times a day we get calls from agents saying, yo, I'm about to close in 2 weeks, or from investors, yo, I'm about to close in 2 weeks. Tile just came back, completely jacked up. I have an open permit on the deck, the shed. Some guy called me yesterday. The second story, he's about to close in 2 weeks. He has an open permit, no permit on the second story, an outside entrance. He has a basement that's finished with no egress. He has a front deck, and it's in Brookhaven, which is an absolute shit show, which means he's probably going to go for a variance and is taking a minimum of 6 months, and the deal will probably fall apart. Had he have sent us this information when he first bought the house, he wouldn't have been in this problem right now. So know before you go, 516-513-8838. Obviously, if you have a house that smells like cat pee, is dated from the 1960s, has 6 inches of mold on the wall, human waste floating past the basement steps, development, land, commercial property, apartment buildings, portfolios or rentals. If God created it and it cannot be moved in its own Long Island, I'm quick, I'm simple, I'm easy, I'm a good time. I want to buy it. 516-777 sold. Another quick announcement before we bring on our guest who is reinventing the home inspection space. Tonight is the night. My man Eric Braun, my brother from another mother, my brother-in-law's cousin's cousin, which I think makes us related, but he says we're not related. For some reason, he's not claiming me, but I'm claiming him. Brewery 3 going off tonight. Secret location on the water, mansion style, valet parking, got the booze, got the food, got the good time. It's going to be great just to get everybody together. Obviously, everyone's got to be safe, got to be healthy, and we certainly will. But it's middle of the summer, and I haven't seen many of you in the real estate community in person, only through this virtual kind of scenario in 6 months. So very cool of Eric to put that together for everybody. Can't wait to see everybody later on tonight. If you haven't reserved your ticket yet, go to Eric's Facebook, Instagram, hit him up directly, and you can get an invite, a digital invite, so you can attend. So that's tonight, 5:30 I forgot the exact location, but hit him up. He has it. So, podcast time, all right? This gentleman today, very nice guy, right? Reinventing the home inspection space. And I've been telling everybody for a long time, like, there is opportunity in every industry. Before this gentleman came along, you would say to yourself, you know what, if I want to be a home inspector, there's 3 million home inspectors. How am I going to compete with the hundreds of home inspectors that are out there? This gentleman, in a short period of time, by putting together a strategic plan, right, that he had witnessed other people do and that he had studied and he had trained, and he did the simple things, which are call people back, deliver great service, and work your ass off. In a 6-month period, he has done 100 home inspections in 6 months, and he just got into the industry. The great thing about him is he has experience as a contractor. He has experience as an investor. He's got a great set of hair. He's freaking getting jacked in his backyard every morning by doing squats with like cinder blocks and shit. I don't even know. It's like some straight 1960s, like Frank Zane, pick up a car, slam kegs on the ground, Rocky type of shit. I don't know, whatever. He's a great guy. He's a knowledgeable guy. He's great in the space. And he's here to talk to us today, Mike Totino.
That was an intro and a half, man. I can't even.
You need a keg now, man. You ever see the scene in Rocky where he's in the last Rocky where he's fighting the guy that's like 20 and he's like 300 years old, but he's still and he's slamming the keg on the ground?
Oh my God. That's
got to do something for you. So I think that's the only thing you're missing from your, backyard extravaganza.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, Jim, for a second. I know obviously COVID hit. You're an avid, you seem to be the kind of guy that believes in just giving nutrition to every part of your body, meaning your mind, your spirit, Absolutely. Your soul. I see you doing the Brian Carp at like 4:30 in the morning, reading books and shit.
Yeah. So I'm a firm believer that, we have 24 hours in the day and we need to maximize them. And you're obviously proof of that. I mean, look how far you've gotten from maximizing each hour every day, waking up. And I just feel like if you want to accomplish, being the best version of yourself, you have to get up before everyone else. And from where I started, I never really had much starting out. So my whole mentality, even back when I was a teenager, was always like, whatever it takes. Every time it snowed out, I was outside with my shovel, snowing driveways, walkways. And my mentality then was, I'm not coming back home until I made at least X amount of dollars. And just that whole mentality of just whatever it takes, it kind of stuck with me.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Long Beach.
Oh, New York shit. I lived in Long Beach for like 10 years. You went to Long Beach High School, all that?
Long Beach High School, graduated. Yep. Do
you know the Scudens? You have to know the Scudens.
Of course. Yeah.
Did you graduate with any of them? There's like 30 of them.
Yeah. So I graduated 2006. So I might know maybe one of the brothers, I guess, by face. Yeah.
You're still in Long Beach or no?
No, I moved after Sandy, but next year is when I'm probably going to move out further east next year, because for some reason, literally 8 out of 10 home inspections are way out east in Suffolk County. So I figured moving closer to work, might be better. So
why do you think that is? Do you think that so a lot more deals are being done in Suffolk County right now, percentage wise, for a number of different reasons? Probably because obviously there's a migration out of the city, but Suffolk has lower prices and lower taxes.
Absolutely.
Do you think, are you doing more deals in Suffolk County because you're in with more agents that concentrate in Suffolk County, or do you feel there's just more deals being done out there, or what?
More deals out there, honestly. Just definitely more deals out there. And I feel like, just being in Suffolk so often, you really get to see, the square footage, the yard, the lot size, and, people are really getting a bang for their buck over there. I feel like
you get a lot for your money. No, absolutely. We just listed 2 dynamite houses in Suffolk, one yesterday and one today. My pops listed one, Dan O'Neill's team listed the other, and it's a shit show. $399 point over, first people in the door, over ask, like everything's over ask. Yep. It's madness. And I get it. And as a matter of fact, some of my inspections have been canceled because my clients are getting outbidded too. So that's another thing. No, the market's on fire. It's nuts. I mean, I've heard of my buddy called me up the other day and he said he lost a house at 60 G's over ask. Yeah. Yep. Which is just mad. I believe it. But listen, I mean, and this is probably going to continue for the next 2 to 3 years, and it's a good time and the rates are super low, so it's a great time to be in the business. I want to kind of take it back a little bit because I want people to understand that not all home inspectors are created equal. So a lot of home inspectors, they take a course and they get licensed as a home inspector, but that doesn't mean they know really anything about houses, construction, the way things come together, permits, etc. So you have a very unique skill set in the sense that you started out in construction. I want you to talk about your career in construction and what you learned and why you ultimately transitioned into home inspections. Sure. And then you have also done some investing, so you understand the investor mentality and what they're trying to achieve. So, take us through how you got into construction, how you built that business, and why you ultimately transitioned. So my 19th birthday, September 12th, was my first day as a union carpenter in New York City. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. So I got into the Carpenters Union. I was there for 6 years. I graduated the apprenticeship and I spent 2 years as a journeyman. And what ended up happening, I would say the last year and a half, the craziest thing, one of my friends recommended a book for me to read. And at the time, I wasn't as adamant about reading because that wasn't a part of my life yet. But luckily, I was around the right people. And my friend who constantly reads, he said, "You got to read this book, Mike." And it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Nice. I read that book, I kid you not, in probably 24 hours. I couldn't put it down. So what ended up happening after I read that book,
it kind of started this thing where I was like, all right, I got to keep reading now. And what else is out there? What other knowledge can I acquire? So literally every morning I would take the 5:20 train out of Baldwin into Manhattan to go to work in the morning. And every commute in and every, train ride back, I would just read every time. And then, believe it or not, people don't realize when you have these small repetitive habits, they compound. So if you're doing, 20 minutes a morning, 20 minutes going back, you're not reading a book a month. So what ended up happening is I just started acquiring more knowledge every day about entrepreneurship. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read Outwitting the Devil. I read just a bunch of self-help books, and it built the confidence to actually start, the journey of entrepreneurship. Now, better than anyone else, the path is not you make your own schedule. It's laid back. No, there's going to be times that deals fall through. You don't know when your next check is coming. There's a lot of uncertainty, especially when you're first starting out. But if you have the passion, the drive, the ambition, I feel like you can do anything. And that's kind of been the foundation of what I've done. So after 6 years, I actually partnered up with a childhood friend of mine who's also has over 10 years experience in construction. And we partnered up and we got into the contracting industry. We flipped a few houses together. We've renovated dozens of kitchens, bathrooms, finished basements, you name it. So, and over time, I built connections in the real estate industry. And then I figured if I'm licensed to, renovate houses, why not be licensed to do home inspections? So one thing just kind of led to another. And then here we are now. I mean, once I got licensed as a home inspector, obviously COVID happened and things like that. But for some reason, my business just took off. Like it was just, my phone is nonstop every day. And I don't advertise. I don't pay for nothing. Like everything's word of mouth. And I'm extremely grateful. And what I've learned for other people out there in, different industries, if you remain hungry and you genuinely help people out, I personally feel like that comes back tenfold. So that's what's helped me in my business.
Well, you haven't advertised per se, but you are doing a lot of very intelligent strategic branding, which we'll get into later on. I'm just curious to know also, childhood when you were in school, etc. How were you as a student in Long Beach? Because I lived in Long Beach. Let me tell you something. Long Beach is a really tough place to try to be serious in any capacity. It's fucking awesome. It's far. So you never want to leave. The beach is there. I mean, it's a magical place. Yeah.
So growing up, actually, I was honestly, school-wise, like I was a knucklehead. Like I wasn't thinking about the future. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Obviously, I didn't have, I guess you could say, like the right parental guidance at the time. I came from a single parent, Section 8 household. My mother had to literally go on public assistance to feed us at one point. And that, looking back, that kind of upbringing for me was like, it was a blessing in disguise, because that taught me that, you may not have everything, but you have control of the effort to change your situation. So ever since I was younger, not having much, it kind of just put me.
Say that again, bro. Say that again.
Which part?
That last statement. You have the ability to control.
Yeah. So I mean, you have the control to change your situation. I mean, look at me. I literally came from a single parent house. She had to go on government assistance to feed us at one point. My brother's father was in and out of jail. He actually passed from a drug overdose at one point. And till this day, I don't even know who my father is. So, and I'm saying all this because that doesn't mean that's an excuse to follow a certain path and go down. If I could do it, you could do it. If I can come from humble beginnings and make something out of nothing, maximize each 24 hours, anybody. I'm nothing special. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, and listen, in a short 6-month period, you've built a very viable business, and it's going to keep growing. And I see great things for you in the future. And you're a really young guy. How old are you?
I'll be 32 in September.
So it's like the other day I posted something. It was a quote, and it said, the best thing a parent can do, or something to the effect of like, the best thing a parent can do, or the best thing that can happen to a child, is to be born into poverty. And people are like, "Fuck you, you're a dick."
I agree.
Like, da da da. And I was like, listen, I had a very different experience than you growing up. Like, my parents are both still together. They've been together since they're 17 years old. My father was a successful businessman, so we lived like a normal middle class type of life. And as a 40-year-old man now, I turn and I say to them, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I say, Dad, Mom, you were awesome. You were the best parents anybody could possibly have, but I really wish you hadn't given me as much, because I think this generation, especially mine and younger, has parents that had it really hard. And as a result, they worked very hard and they tried to give their kids everything. And as a result of that, you have a lot of like entitled, lazy fucking people out there who just make excuses for why their life isn't their life, isn't what they want their life to be. Then you talk about somebody that comes from a situation like you, which I would argue is probably as hard as anybody could have it. And here you are, 32 years old, you've had multiple successful businesses at this point. You have the home inspection business, you had a successful construction business, and you have had success as an investor as well.
Well, I just feel like, the whole reason why I start my day at 4 a.m. is because my mentality is always, I'm behind. I don't have the resources as everyone else has. So I need to get ahead, and I need to maximize those extra 3 to 4 hours from 4 a.m. to 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when I'm reading, I'm exercising, I'm learning another language every day, because just that my upbringing has kind of trained my mind that I don't want to go back to experiencing certain things of not having, so it kind of, that's the best thing that's honestly happened to me. And I'm very adamant about, we all have problems. Life always gives us setbacks and whatnot, but it's up to you to choose your perception on these things. You could take a negative and turn it into a positive easily.
100%. And just out of curiosity, and if you don't want to go into this, you don't have to, but was your mother always pushing that? Was she always reinforcing that to you? Was she always saying to you, you could do whatever you want? You could be
not to bash my mother, because she's the reason why I am the way I am, but she actually left when I was probably about 16, 17 years old. So I didn't have like parental guidance probably since then.
So wait, who raised you?
I literally, I had the house to myself since like 11th grade, 16, 17-ish.
But even before that, not a lot of positive reinforcement. You were kind of
my mom, she was there, but she was in and out of the house from when I was about 14 to 16-ish. But by 16, 17, she was out. But prior to past couple years, she was barely there.
Wow.
So, but these are positive, looking back, these are blessings, and like, these are what made me who I am, the hunger and things like that. So I'm grateful for that. So I don't hold. Good.
Do you remember? Was there like a moment? So I think a lifetime is kind of defined by certain great moments. Obviously, every day you can have great things happen, but there's like big pivotal moments throughout people's lives that kind of shape them and put them on a path. Mm-hmm. Do you remember like a childhood moment? Because listen, bro, you could have easily turned into a fucking
drug addict,
murdering drug dealer, without a doubt. Was there like a moment or an experience in your life that changed that put you on the path to where you are right now?
I would say the moment where I didn't have, one of the moments was when I had the decision to go to school. Like I was probably in 11th grade, 11th, 12th grade, I'd say. And when I realized that I had the choice to go to school or not, that's when I was like, oh shit, it's up to me now to choose whether I want to graduate or not, or not go to, because if I didn't go to school, there was no consequences, repercussions, or nothing. So that's kind of like at the early age, I was like, all right, I need to get my head straight, make sure I'm on this path to do what I got to do, because there's no one else is holding me accountable. So that's kind of like, I guess, where it started. And even when I was young, I mean, it's funny, when I was 13 years old, and I think by then you had to be 14 to legally work, get working papers and everything. I remember my first job. It was in Oceanside. I think it was in Oceanside. And I used to ride my bike 2 towns over, and I lied about my age and said I was older just so I could start working. And then I'd ride my bike 2 towns back over the summertime. I was a busboy. So just whatever it took to get my foot in the door, from shoveling snow to working and lying about my age or whatever it was, it kind of stuck with me now. So
Holy shit, man. That's some crazy shit. I never knew that.
yeah. So that's why, like, when people see me, like, they got to realize, like, I'm putting in a lot of work behind the scenes. Like, everything people see now, it's from constant follow-ups, waking up at 4 a.m., emails at nighttime, and this, and then it just kind of.
What time do you go to sleep? So, like, I want to be that guy who gets up at 4 fucking morning. But my body is like, fuck you, dude. You like I don't want, like, I could work out at 1 o'clock in the morning, at 11 o'clock at night. Like, I could be up, but my body doesn't want to do pull-ups, with cement strapped to my legs. I'll puke on the lawn.
Yeah.
What time are you going to sleep?
I probably go to sleep on average, like by 10 o'clock, I'm sleeping.
Okay.
Maybe 10:30, but yeah.
That's still not that much sleep.
A good 6 hours. I could function off of 6 hours of sleep.
All right.
But what ends up happening is that when you have these schedules, it's almost like you wake up and you don't even think anymore. So it's like, all right, I got to get up, I got to read, exercise, learn another like, and then once you start adding small daily habits, they start to compound. And then it's like, it becomes a lifestyle of everything, whether now that turns into, okay, I want to save X amount a month. I also want to, so it just kind of turns into like a full swing of everything.
No, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So you got into the construction business, successful in the construction business, and then you decide to leave the construction business.
I'll tell you what.
Home inspections. Why did you do that?
So I've learned about myself that, because certain businesses, it has to fit your personality. And one thing about my personality, because of my own schedule, is that I just have the mind frame that if I could do it, anyone can. So when people are late to work, just managing people on a daily basis is tough, especially construction, different trades. You got to make sure schedules on time and things like that. And I realized that, people aren't disciplined as I am. And it was very frustrating. And then I realized that with the home inspection business, I don't have to manage anyone because I'm my own, I'm the owner of my own company. So, people know I'm going to be there on time. I'm going to be, delivering and things like, I don't have to rely on so many different, components on a daily basis, which is very stressful.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's but with that comes its own set of challenges. I mean, people think that if you're in your own business, it's easy, make your own schedule. It's really ultimate responsibility. To your point, you're not getting a check every week.
Yeah.
You have to worry about every freaking problem, and it never stops. You always have to be constantly growing and evolving, or you'll be irrelevant.
Let me tell you, I will openly admit, because there's a lot of people on Facebook that, or Instagram, that their business is always booming, it's always good, which is fine, and I'm happy for those people. But I will openly admit, every phase of failure in entrepreneurship I've experienced personally, without a doubt. Deals falling through, like you said, not knowing when your next check's coming, or you might lose money on a job. I've literally experienced it all, which is, which when you look back at it, it's part of the process. Like, everything happens to get you to that point. Everyone goes through it.
Yeah, it basically comes down to mindset. Like, you're the perfect example of understanding that life and success in business is a process. It's not, just an outcome. It's not an instant gratification thing. It's an adventure. It's a lifelong adventure, and you're supposed to have fun with it. But for all the failures that you've experienced, you've definitely only experienced a fraction of what you're going to. For as much as you think has gone wrong, and you're like, everything could possibly have gone wrong. No, like,
more's going to happen. Yeah.
Tomorrow and be like, that house you said was okay? Well, the fucking thing fell down yesterday. Just fell down on its own, or whatever. You don't know.
Exactly.
it never ends. You just get up every day liking what you do, and you just, trudge through every day. That's pretty much what it is. That's all you can do.
And I actually love what I do for so many reasons, because I like the fact that it's something new every time. It's a new house, it's a new homeowner, new realtors that I meet, and I'm always on the go. And especially during the summertime, what I do now is whatever town that I'm in, after I inspect the home, I go to the local park, I write up my report on my laptop, and I just have such an appreciation for nature and just the simple things in life. So it really just comes full swing for what I do, honestly.
So I want to talk about, obviously every business has challenges. So you left the construction business because, construction is hard. It's hard to get good quality people.
Yeah.
Insurances, everything is absolutely freaking nuts.
Yep.
Homeowners, people that you're doing work for, are out of their goddamn minds.
Some are nightmares, yeah. Some are just never happy, yeah. Yep.
Out of their goddamn mind. Like, you see that pinhole like 3 inches off the floor right above that molding that nobody without a magnifying glass can't see? Well, I'm not freaking happy with that. But your business has a set of challenges, and your challenge is very similar to an accountant, an attorney, somebody like that, whereas you are personally in demand and you've built your brand that way, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but you're in demand. So the issue now becomes Mike Totino, even though he sleeps 3 hours a day and he's up at 4:30 in the morning, there's only a certain amount of hours in a day, and you can't be 4 different places at once. So once you have, so quickly built a massive home inspection business, how do you then scale that operation, which is what you're struggling with now?
That's a great point. So I actually have a few phenomenal home inspectors that currently cover me now. And not only that, but my previous partner from the contracting business, he's in the process of getting his home inspection license too. So we're going to scale on that note with 2 previous contractors as home inspectors. So,
and I think also what the public needs to understand is, it's just because you're out there every day doing home inspections, but just because you're necessarily not on a home inspection that was booked through your company doesn't mean that you aren't, personally reviewing, monitoring, and training all the staff so that they're getting the same level of service that they get with you personally.
Of course. And speaking of training, I'm not sure if you saw, but a few days ago, I actually posted that I'm doing a free home inspection workshop for real estate agents. So I'm going to walk them through a house, and I want to bring things to their attention so their deals don't die last minute. And also, if they're going on a listing presentation, they could point things out to the homeowner that they might have never known. And as a previous contractor, I used to do that all the time. And I would get jobs even if I was the highest price, because I gained their trust with my knowledge. So the knowledge I've acquired, I want to pass it on to the real estate agents. So, it's the least I can do for them continuing to hire me. So I figured I would just pay it forward.
Listen, that's really what it's about. Are you going to be streaming that for people at home? Like,
Matt's going to be there filming it. So it's going to be an hour. I don't know how he's going to do that. I don't know if people are going to want to watch an hour workshop. Most likely he'll probably chop it up, into a couple minutes. But the first workshop that I posted, it sold out in literally the first hour. So that tells me I definitely have to do another one soon.
How many people?
I only did 10.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have too much,
So, and just a suggestion, because if it's in a house that has Wi-Fi, you can use just like a small webcam, and he could follow you. You could stream it. If you stream it on a platform like this, that could be a massive thing. You have watching, because that's something if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this, that is an hour of your life that will make you a tremendous amount of money and save you even more aggravation. Like, that hour will go like this. And if you can learn those tips, because nobody ever gives that shit away for free, bro. This is the stuff that you're doing to build your brand that nobody else does in the space, which is why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I just, it's funny because these like free workshops that I'm doing and paying it forward, to be honest with you, now that we're on the live, I've been taking a page out of your book this whole time, whether it's helping other people out, and that's on it like that. Like, you are definitely a huge foundation of my success as well, because I've been literally following your blueprint. Of course, I'm adding my own little touch into it, but and and it's been working. So I thank you for that.
No, my pleasure. And listen, you know what, bro? Like none of us are really doing anything specifically unique in the sense that I didn't make up a lot of the shit that I'm doing. I saw other people doing it, and then I put my kind of unique spin on it the way you do. And then maybe we all come up with, some unique ideas and people take that from us. But I think the important thing is to share and help everybody in the world, in the industry, in life. I put a lot of posts up about this stuff where like people see each other as competition. Like, I don't see other investors as competition. I'm sure you don't see other home competition.
We help each other.
Exactly. That's really what it should be. And if we all do that with each other, we'll all do better as an ecosystem.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm actually in a group chat with a few home inspectors, and, we'll send pictures of things we find on a job site. And then, we'll exchange ideas, and then we'll send each other comments on reports to just so we can help each other sharpen up all the time. So that's definitely true. And this is a big thing too, that has helped me be successful. This is very important, is everything else that's going around. You actually posted a video about collaboration, and, there's a small percentage of people that will undercut you and, things like that. What's helped me in my business is I'm not spiteful or there's no hate in my blood towards anyone else. And you realize that there's a lot of people that are sour about whether it's realtors, inspectors. You can't think like that, No,
you can't. You absolutely can't. And listen, I don't want to hear excuses from people. Like, you're proof you came from as dire a situation as most people can get. If anybody could be angry, if anybody could feel, if anybody could feel that, life shit on them from day one, that could be you. But you're not doing that. You're out here spreading positivity, helping people, providing a great service. So if you're making excuses, people, I don't want to fucking hear it.
None. And I have no sympathy. For people who get in their own way. And I'm the kind of friend, I'm the kind of friend that I'm going to call you out on your shit. So, because people need to hear it. And, some people, some people take it, they get offended, and then they think I'm an asshole. And other people take it like, you know what? I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that I'm getting in my own way. I'm making excuses on why I can't accomplish, X, Y, and Z, and, just cut it out. If I could do it, you could do it. Simple as that.
So I want to transition into brand building and marketing. So a lot of people that are, home inspectors or investors or doctors, or pick whatever your career is, they're very, very good at what they do. Like, there are some people, I'm sure you know them, home inspectors. They're excellent home inspectors.
Yes.
Suck as business people. So
I found that a lot in the contracting business all the time.
Without a doubt. But it's really in every business.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about specifically, the branding for now, because the reason why your business is doing so well is obviously you're following up, you're doing a lot of great things, but your branding has been very good. You're doing these free events, you're working with Madar Visual, you're constantly giving value and free content and hitting the different platforms that, different groups of people are on. So, talk to everybody about your marketing strategy, how it came about, how it's evolved, and ultimately what it's done for your business.
To be honest with you, the foundation of my branding is just being genuine. I don't post, hey, hire me, guys. I post, hey, here's some free information. Take it. Whether you hire me or not, still take the information, do whatever you want with it. But I'm here to add value. I feel like when you add value and don't expect anything in return, that's what will get you more business. And even on my Instagram page, I'm constantly posting videos. Whether I'm inspecting a hot water heater and I'm just posting a video on things to look out for, so you don't get burned or things like that. And I never say hire me, because I just want to add value as much as I can. And I feel like when you add value for free, people gravitate towards that, and it goes a long way. And it shows that you genuinely care about people's well-being.
Without a doubt. I mean, listen, I've always said that if I heard this from somebody, I obviously didn't make it up, but people listen, if you want to be rich or successful, start thinking about ways you can make other people successful. That's really, the foundation of a lot of things I do. And when you when you selflessly give value to people expecting nothing in return is when great things will happen. And then you also inevitably, build this outstanding network. Like I do shit for people all the time that I don't know, and I'm happy to help them.
Including myself.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's like, that doesn't mean you're going to get taken advantage of. I think people are always afraid they're going to get taken advantage of. Like if I give selflessly to somebody and then they keep, they're just like a value sucking asshole, or you just get this kind of feeling that they're just not a good person, that, then you cut them off. But you shouldn't judge all people and treat everybody like that. You should help everybody, because none of us can do this shit by ourselves.
Never.
And I've been blessed through that process to have an extensive network. So I'm at this point, if I need something, it's one phone call or two phone calls away. And that is the most valuable thing, ever. And that's what we all have a responsibility to do for each other, in my opinion.
Another thing too, that's helped me tremendously in my branding, which is completely organic, but I actually add humor to some of my videos because I like to think I have a great sense of humor. But, I always add humor into some of my videos just so people know that I'm a human being. I'm not just a robot, home inspector, robot, hire me. I want people. That's why I post, the 4 a.m. reading books, the fitness things, because people relate to things like that. And then believe it or not, there's been times that people message me like, because of what you're posting, I just started reading again. And so you never know who's watching. So things like that really, that's another reason why I do it too, because if I could add value as a home inspector, of course I will. But if I could add it on another level, whether, you want to start reading or getting in shape, I'm all for it.
Oh, listen, again, like you said, we all have to help each other, get up the mountain. So, I want to close out with, what's the future of Mike Totino look like? You're a young guy. You've done a lot of things. You have a lot of time left. You have a lot of energy. So, what is the next, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years look like for Mike Totino?
That's a great question. So I would say definitely by next year, I will definitely be scaling my business, because by then my contracting partner will be licensed as well. So I don't want to scale too quick, too fast, because I want to get accustomed to now, expanding little by little to kind of, because the last thing I want to do is get too big too quick. And then people don't realize when you take on too much and you can't handle it, your name starts to get tarnished, because now you're not delivering. So I don't want to do that yet. But by next year, I'll be scaling my home inspection business. I'm looking to flip probably at least 2 to 3 properties per year. And then after that, I definitely want to get into buying and holding. That right there, that's my ultimate long-term goal, because I feel like there's nothing more valuable in this world than having your time back. And if you invest buying and holding, creating passive income, and you get your time back, I think that's the ultimate riches in life, honestly. My opinion.
100%, man. I mean, there is that. Real estate, in my opinion, is the best investment there is from a strictly passive, wealth building, generational wealth building standpoint. I don't think there's anything better you could do. So listen, dude, you're a fucking great guy. I love what you're doing. I love watching it. I appreciate you sharing all that. If people, want to get in touch with you, if they don't know who you are yet, they should. How do they follow you? How do they get in touch with you? I've been scrolling stuff about you along the bottom this whole time.
Wait, people have been leaving comments here. I didn't even see the comments.
No,
oh, okay.
Yeah, no, comments are different, but I've been scrolling just contact information and stuff for you. So how do people get in touch with you? How do they follow you? Let everybody know.
So my number is 516-303-5425. If you ever have any questions, you could send me pictures, text me, call me. And my Instagram page is Safety First, spelled out SAFETYFIRST HI_.
I got that shit right.
Yes, sir. So you can follow me there. I have tips that I post almost every day. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Handsome, I thank you so much for having me. I know you're a busy guy. Greatly appreciate it, as always. And I will see you tonight at the brewery.
At the brewery, man. It's going to go on. It's going down.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be good to get everybody together. And obviously, if you have issues with permits, plans, anything on Long Island, permit or township related, 516-513-8838 for the Captain Permit. If you have a house that smells like cat pee, dated from the 1960s, land, commercial property, portfolios, apartment buildings, mobile home, trailer parks, whatever it is on Long Island, give me a call. I'm quick. I'm easy. I want to buy it. 516-777-SOLD. That's a wrap.
Orgulloso estoy de mi herencia judía. Benjamin Ben Shlomo, cuando me llaman a la torre, así me llamo yo. Orgulloso estoy de mi herencia judía.